Maryville University salutes the class and selflessness of the DeKalb High School boys basketball team. Now, some acts of sportsmanship take planning. They develop over time, they build up, and there's a lot of thought that goes into how to help a teammate or competitor overcome obstacles and adversity. Then there are the relatively simple gestures, the ones that can happen spontaneously. They can be just as astounding. The spirit of sportsmanship truly shines when on the spur of the moment, someone has the character to step up and do the right thing. That's the story of our next award recipients, Darius McNeil, Dave Rollman, and the DeKalb High School basketball team. 65 miles from Chicago, down Interstate 88, is DeKalb, Illinois. Here, they grow corn and soybeans. They also plant the seeds of honor and decency.
They put others ahead of themselves.
The DeKalb High School basketball team is coming off an excellent season.
We had a very good team, a lot of talent.
They're called the Barbs because barbed wire was invented in DeKalb County, and they did a good job of fencing in opponents. Their senior point guard understood his role as a team captain.
It means that I have to show leadership and to show that, everything's going to be okay when things are wrong as far as game situation or in life situations.
For the past 4 years, DeKalb has played a non-conference game against Madison High School in Milwaukee.
We wanted to do something a little bit different for our kids and give them a unique experience, and that's how it started.
Especially with, the Wisconsin-Illinois border kind of war, Bears, Packers, a Bucks, Bulls kind of thing.
The teams get together after the game to share some pizza and soda. But in February of 2009, the game was almost canceled.
As we're getting dressed, the coach comes in to tell us the bad news about Jantel's mom.
The mother of Knight's senior captain, Jantel Franklin, passed away the morning of the game.
She was a happy person, always kept us focused, always kept us, motivated.
Carletha Franklin, who was one of the team's biggest supporters, lost her battle with cervical cancer. She was 39 years old.
It was at that point we said, well, certainly don't feel that you have to play this game tonight.
The team wanted to forfeit because anybody wanted to play. I told them to play.
With heavy hearts, the Knights decided to play the game. And it was very close when early in the second quarter, the small crowd let out a cheer.
I believe I was taking out the ball, and I looked to my left, and I was shot.
Arriving straight from the hospital, Jantel Franklin walked into the gym.
And I just wanted to get my mind off that situation that happened.
Coach Womack called a timeout to give his players a chance to hug their grieving teammate, and fans came down from the stands to do the same. Then the coach had a question.
He asked me what I was going to do. I was like, I want to play. I'm like, for real? I was like, yeah.
Next thing I know, he sprinted off the bench and ran towards the locker room to get dressed.
It wasn't too long after that. He came out dressed in uniform and was sitting on their bench and ready to play.
But there was a problem. Jantel's name wasn't on the roster in the scorebook because nobody expected him to play. Putting him in the game was a technical foul, and that meant DeKalb would get 2 free throws.
I felt like that was almost, piling it on to Jantel and his teammates. It's not, it's not their fault that that's the situation that they were put in.
So for several minutes, Dave Rollman tried to get the referees to ignore the rules because of the extenuating circumstances.
Coach Rollman said, no, we're not taking the technical fouls. Let's just play.
We were arguing back and forth with the ref. The ref said, well, hey, that's the rules.
Insisting they were doing what they had to do, the officials enforced the technical. So DeKalb did what they felt they had to do. Coach Rollman gathered his team.
He asked who wanted to shoot the free throws, and I'll quickly raise my hand.
The rule is everybody has to stand behind half court while you shoot those free throws, so he's going to be out there by himself. And I knew he was on the same page as I was.
After a quick discussion with the coach, Darius McNeil went to the free throw line.
I took my normal routine, just spin the ball and catch it, and I just shot it regular, but I just airballed it really bad.
You airballed it?
Yeah.
McNeil didn't even come close to making the first free throw. He missed it on purpose.
That's when Coach Womack got his kids up off the bench, and they turned toward us and started applauding us.
Then he did the same with the second free throw. And that's when the fans joined the Knights to give DeKalb a standing ovation.
I was thankful that he did that, you know, because most teams wouldn't have probably did that.
To think about John Tell first, I just, you know, I've heard about it in stories or something like that, but I've never seen or been a part of it in real life. It just caught me. It did something to my heart.
After those missed free throws, John Tell and Milwaukee Madison pulled away and won the game 62-47. But DeKalb had no regrets.
I felt good inside. I felt that I did the right thing.
A few days later, the Knights coach wrote a letter to DeKalb's hometown paper, the Daily Chronicle, to express his gratitude.
Those coaches over there are not just teaching about basketball, they're teaching about life.
We get online comments and stories, and it just started as a few, but by a couple days after that, I mean, we were talking about hundreds of comments on there.
Soon after, the story was picked up by the Milwaukee paper, then the national media, and then it was making news all over the world.
People started to become really proud that they were from DeKalb out of this.
And Coach Rollman started posting the emails all over the school.
That was probably the most gratifying thing that we read over and over and over. This is what sports is supposed to be about.
On the wings of all this love, DeKalb went on to tie for their conference championship.
It just brought us closer, and we started playing together as a team.
But all these months later, for the people who were there that night in Milwaukee, it's not the wins and losses that they'll remember about the 2009 season.
It's a really tough thing, basketball player losing his mother, but to be able to turn it into a positive thing is what really has made this story grab hold of people.
It's not really me scoring a lot of points or me giving a lot of assists, but it shows me being a good person for what I did.
Thinking about the love that everybody showed me that day, and that team, you know, did that at that moment in that like critical situation. Because if he could have made them free throws, they could have probably ended up winning the game.
It's been said that winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Unless, of course, there's an opportunity to do the right thing.
What would they say after the ball stopped bouncing? Because your life lasts a lot longer than your athletic life. So what would they say about you when your sports life ends?
Coach Womack said it best in his letter. He said, you know, if my son can't play, you know, here in Milwaukee, we'd like to sign him up and be a Barb. I mean, you know, that's a pretty good compliment, I think.
We welcome and congratulate and salute the entire DeKalb High School basketball team. They are all here tonight with their families, leading them on stage, Coach Dave Rollman and Darius McNeil. Grab that cell phone and vote for your favorite sportsmanship story. Text VOTE to 83228. An Olympic track champion and a World Series pitcher show us the real definition of winning up next on the AT&T National Sportsmanship Awards.